2nd in Chestnut. Very happy to have our second Saturday one-on-one discussions live here on Facebook and YouTube, and then up to Buzzsprout, where we load up to Spotify, Audible, Amazon, and back to our website at creativebirdstrategies.com. Now also don't forget about our Sunday mornings discussion, which is more of a national level discussion on Clubhouse every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to give a special thanks to my co-founder and co-host, Yordle Perkins of Perkitech, who provides all the social media analytics, video work, and graphic work for this podcast every week for the podcast. And please reach out to him with any questions at perkitech.com. Today's discussion, which I'll be getting interviewed in this role, which is the roles will reverse, we're going to be discussing BRRRR versus fix and flip strategies that really have a different perspective than the natural lending model. And I thought it was important because I think a lot of flippers are now becoming rehab holders because of the market shifting with rates and the concerns of the market, jobs, etc., inflation, cost of living. So it's becoming more prevalent for certain demographics to rent and more landlords to grow and scale their portfolio. So I have David BRRRR from Credit to Capital, also a co-host with me at some events that we hold in Lehigh Valley that we conduct the interview. Dave, why don't you provide a little background on yourself and who you are, and then we'll get into the discussion at hand.
Yeah, awesome, Joe. Thank you for having me. Hello, world. My name is Dave BRRRR, as Joe said. I'm one of the owners and founders of our parent company, Trifecta Credit Solutions, to where we help individuals, business owners, real estate investors go from credit to capital. The credit to capital side is a spin-off mixed with funding and personal and business credit to help those individuals go from credit to capital. And it's been awesome to not only be here with Joe today, but a lot of events that we've done together over the past year, and to see where this has gone, not only for myself, but Joe and I together. And can't thank you enough, man. Thank you. So this is pretty cool for me. I'm going to take this over today and going to be on the flip side and interviewing Joe.
Excellent.
Awesome, man. Let's get right into it. Guys, we're talking about BRRRR versus fix and flip today. And, there are two strategies. They're two very different non-QM lending models. So, Joe, what is the core difference between the BRRRR strategy and fix and flip?
The BRRRR strategy is buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and redo. Where the fix and flip, the outcome is to unload the property within a certain time frame of completion of the property, getting it listed and getting it out to somebody to obviously sell and purchase. And I think also the type of renovations that go into either or are different nowadays. But I think as this market is changing, and we're in a spring market right now, and it's not a very heavy spring market, so with a flip, that's going to become potentially a BRRRR, and if you put too much into the property of upgrades, one, the rental market might not match up with your debt, and you might have a little refinance out, or you might end up needing some money into the deal. But that might be a good thing in the sense of cash flow. So whenever you evaluate a property now for renovation, whether it's a flip or a BRRRR, you almost have to look at it the same way. Like, if I don't sell the property, I have to hold the property. Can I rent this property? Does my debt make sense to the equity that's going to be left in the property? Is there going to be profitability to the after repair value? And what's the timeline of completion of the project? If it's a 7-month project, that's a lot of time. If it's a 3-month project, you almost you're tempted to test the market, but if the market doesn't work in your favor, you can immediately put it into a for rent position and get it rented and refinance the property, because there's so much money on the DSCR side for long-term 30-year fixed money, or even 10-year interest only with a 30-year amortized loan right now. So you have some great options out there.
Does that actually, like a little follow-up to that, when people are coming into that fix and flip scenario originally, right, and then they end up going around, if they draw it out, does that create an equity problem typically? There isn't much money in it at that point.
A famous line I learned earlier in my career in lending, time kills deals. An average renovation for a project right now in the United States, the average renovation completion is 7 months. So, 7 months is a full gut to the studs. Am I suggesting you do more full gut to the studs know, I'm suggesting a low to medium rehabs right now. You want to have more of a British Bulldog mentality versus the Spanish Armada mentality. And if you learn that in your history books, Spanish Armada got their asses kicked by the British Bulldogs because of the smaller, sleeker movements. They were solid. And I'm not saying not doing your renovations solid and make it a strong rehab. I'm saying that you guys be smart about it. Does it make sense to add a bathroom? Does it make sense to finish the basement? Does it make sense to put a new roof on? How about the windows? The kitchen. Can you get away with just remodeling the kitchen instead of gutting it out? What type of flooring are you putting in? Are you going to put hardwood floors? Are you going to put a hardwood laminate flooring? What kind of railings are you going to put? Removable railings? Are you going to make it smart and friendly, video-centric, and lit up like a firecracker around the entire surrounding of the house? There's things you got to question.
You think you overthink and over-budget and overdo it?
What I get more concerned now than ever before is when somebody doesn't know how to pinpoint a renovation cost. And they give me a variable of $50,000 difference between what they think it could be to what the worst case scenario is. I don't like hearing that because that means I feel that you're uncertain of the project altogether.
Right? That's good stuff right there. So next question. How does non-QM, non-qualified mortgage lending support both of those strategies?
It's all about your experience in the last 3 years. What have you completed as a flipper and sold with ownership? What have you bought as for rehab, for rental and held, and now hold? And then how many rentals have you acquired in the last 3 years? That is the biggest three questions that people cannot give you strategic answers right away. For whatever reason, they want to kind of fib and exaggerate because now you're impacting their ego and for them to tell the truth. And at the end of the day, my AI and my background check will tell me the truth anyway, so you might as well tell it up front because that's going to allow me to get comfortable in how I structure your loan. That's how I'm going to be able to support your strategy with that deal. Like, you're buying something for $100 and the renovation's $120 grand, it's already lopsided. Have you done a relevant project like that? Have you not? Is this your first deal out of the gate? What type of renovations are you taking a property with $120,000 worth of renovation with $100,000 value? And then you're giving me an after repair value of $300,000, but I don't see a comp in the market for it. So something's not right, right? You're underwriting the entire project incorrectly. Or your guidance, whoever's mentoring you in those numbers, is not guiding you correctly either.
The data's always the data, and the numbers are the numbers.
I mean,
It's so in AI now, you're not going to get out of it.
No, I mean, we met a young lady this past week, and she had a project that she was having trouble with. And I actually met with her on the phone, and she basically wanted to convert, she was trying to renovate a mixed-use building. But it was not going to be a very successful mixed-use building. It was not in the middle, not really in a great area. And I said, have you considered just converting this to all residential units? You're going to probably get a better shot at getting full occupancy much quicker. She said, I have, and the towns are probably considering it. I said, well, listen, why don't you find out if the town will confirm that? Because the only way I'm going to do this, because you only have one renovation under your belt in your history, your investment history, is to renovate this to be a residential property, a conversion. She's like, that's not a bad idea. Nobody's talked to me about that. Because I kind of looked at it, was looking up the building. She didn't think I was going to look the building up. So I'm doing my due diligence. I'm looking at the building. I'm like, this is not going to be a good project for you. Like, you're going to end up giving this property back.
It's almost like people have this expectation that, hey, I'm going to ask for money for a project, just give it to me.
Well, they just think because the non-QM space where you're not collecting, tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, or 1099s, they think I'm drawing a stick figure on the law to underwrite your file and get you approved. It doesn't work that way. There's an appraisal being done, there's some insight, there's some questions that need to be asked. And, being in the non-QM space for now over 10 years, 25 years altogether in lending, you have some battle scars.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what type of loan is most common for fix and flip?
It's called a bridge rehab construction loan, or RTL is a code for it. Basically, you're taking the loan, you're buying it up to a certain purchase price. The renovation cost is coming up to 100% by the lender, which they escrow. They don't give you the renovation up front. You take it out on a draw schedule, and it's based on an after repair value. So we start from the after repair value, we then look at what you're buying it for, and we look at the repair numbers, and we want to make sure that there's a couple moving parts. We want to make sure that the experience questions are answered correctly. Credit score needs to be above 660. We've got to make sure that you have enough reserves for the what-ifs and the first draw and closing costs. And based on your experience level, we will go up on a leverage up on the purchase up to 95% on purchase. And we'll provide up to 100% of construction and up to 75% loan of value on the RF. But it all depends on, one, the complexity of the renovation to the property, two, the asset type, three, your experience in the last 3 years of completed projects, and then your credit score, and then your bank statements and your reserves. So again, it's a different type of process than what a bank would do, because they're regulated and they don't really do construction loans. And if they do, they're requiring way more money into the purchase side, and they're doing a full underwriting of your file of your personal financials, where I'm only looking at bank statements, credit score, and the deal. But the deal still has to make sense based on your experience or your inexperience based on the complexity of the rehab.
Yeah, makes sense. So now, what type of loan is most common for BRRRR investors?
Irony enough, it's really the same for the fixed to flip, for the fixed to rent. When somebody says, hey, I'm going to do a BRRRR loan, it's a fixed to flip, fixed to rent loan. The rates are the same. The origination's the same. I can tell you right now, if you've done 5+ deals in the last 3 years, meaning flips and rehabs, you get 8.99 on rate, 1.5 on origination, $2,000 for underwriting, $19.95, and the legal fee $625. That's it. And then if you've done 3 to 4 deals in the last 3 years, we're looking at 9.99. If you've done 0 to 2 deals, you're at 10.99. Same origination, same underwriting fee, same legal fee. Now the leverage changes. It can go anywhere between 80 and 90% between 0 and 4. But once you get to 95, when you get to 5+ deals, you're at 95% leverage on purchase, 100% on construction, 75% loan to value on the after repair value. So we get aggressive, but we get aggressive as you scale correctly and come back with finished and completed projects.
So that experience and the number of deals that you've done is pretty paramount there.
Correct.
Awesome. So how does an exit strategy differ from the two then?
Well, the exit strategy for the BRRRR is that the minute you're stabilized and the place is renovated and it's up for rent, you could start the process of refinance. Does the property have to be rented at the time of the refinance? No. It would be compelling. It would be smart to have it rented, but again, the clock is ticking. You typically provided a 12-month interest-only loan. You want to get out of that as soon as possible. So you're paying interest only. Plus, there's a timeline there. Plus, you want to get into a 30-year loan. Okay?
Not push it to the average of 6 months.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I like to be on 3 to 4 months. Okay? Now, if you come to us for the fixed to flip or fixed to rent loan and you want us to refinance, we don't have a seasoning requirement for the refinance. So it makes sense for you to call me back once you stabilize. We're in touch with each other anyway, and thus then start the refinance on that project. Now, if you want to test the market and put it up for sale, and see if you can flip it, have it 40% equity in the deal, fine. But it doesn't sell for one or two. The realtor tries to sell you a price drop. Start the process of occupancy. Let your realtor go. Give it to a property management company to get it rented, or get the realtor to switch it from for sale for rent. Make sure it's off the market, and then start the refinance if it was a flip initially. There's nothing wrong with testing the market. You can make 40%. That's great. You're giving half of that back to the government, but there's money there for you to be made on the flip.
Right. What underwriting focus differs between those two strategies?
I think the type of work that's being done to the property. When you're adding bathrooms, replacing kitchens, putting hardwood floors in, compared to laminate hardwood floors, window replacement, different things that are sustainable for the long-term sale of a property to somebody that's going to be living there and owning it is definitely different. I think you got to make sure your basement's in good shape, your foundation's in good shape. Does it make sense to finish the basement? Does it make sense to expand the property? A lot of buildings space in the attic? Does it make sense to raise the roof to make sure that it's a legitimate bedroom instead of calling it a bedroom? So there's a lot of things you need to learn as you're looking at these properties for renovating and upgrading, whether it's a fix-to-rent, fix-to-flip. If it's a fix-to-rent, don't raise the roof and make that a legitimate bedroom. I would just complete it and consider it a bedroom when you're renting it out. Because a lot of places are a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, right?
Right.
And maybe they have a 3rd bedroom. Now it's a 3-bedroom because they completed the attic, but they didn't get it the whole way through from the permit process. But they could rent it as a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Maybe add a half bath. Make it a 3-bed, 1.5. That's a nice rental. Or if you could pull off a second full bathroom, great. 3-bedroom, 2-bath rental is going to be much better than a 3-1.
Yeah. But also speaking about time again, time to go get permits and go through all that stuff, and then you're changing assessments.
Well, and a big discussion we had, a lot of people forget is when you're pulling permits, the permit department is also notifying your tax assessor's office, and your taxes are not going to stay the same. I mean, if you're doing paint and flooring and carpeting and just light remodel, and not replacing anything or adding anything, and you're just making it beautiful again, in a sense for a good rental, you might not get impacted on taxes reassessments as quickly as if you're pulling permits for a roof raise, an added bathroom, all new electrical, all new HVAC. Now all these permits, they trigger the tax assessor's office.
Yeah.
They're coming out, and those taxes could change anywhere between 20 and 30%.
That's a lot, man. So what is the typical loan-to-cost structure for a fix and flip?
Very relevant to fix-to-rent as well. It's based on the last 3 years' experience of the borrower. How many flips have you completed with ownership and sold? Not what you're working on, what you have completed and sold. And what have you done as a rental for rehab to rental refinance completed? And how many rentals have you acquired? Because those numbers can vary. And if that's all at least combined 5, you're going to get max leverage of 95% purchase and 100% construction, 75% LTV on the ARV. The only thing that changes based on experience below 5 deals or better is your leverage up to 95% goes maybe to 90% or 92% or 85%, and your LTV on ARV changes down to 7% LTV on ARV. So things kind of come back down based on inexperience or the complexity to the project.
Yeah, there's that word experience again.
It's only been the last 3 years. Now, a couple of years ago, post-COVID, it was what have you done the past 4 years, and then the previous 4 years. So they took an 8-year look at. Now we're way past the whole COVID excuses. We're now what's happened in the last 3 years.
Yeah. What underwriting metrics matter most for BRRRR refinancing?
After repair value, your market rent, and your debt. So where are you at with the after repair value, the appraisal value? Where are you at with the rental market? What's the tax and insurance look like based on DSCR, meaning debt service coverage ratio, the income ratio and expense ratio to the project itself, and how much do you owe? Now, can most lenders, such as myself, go up to 80% loan to value on a refinance? Yes. If you go up to 80%, it's going to be unlimited cash out. If you're up to 75%, you can do cash out. Now, is there a rate difference between cash out and not cash out? Yes. Sometimes up to a half a point. Most of the more experienced investors that we've talked about when we were at our last workshop together are somewhere between 60 and 70%. They don't want to feel over-leveraged. They also want to take advantage of a very competitive rate. And they're looking at the cash flow of the property, not to extract every last piece of penny out of the building. Because if they're going to hold it long-term, or at least 5 to 7 years, and they have to look at the cash-on-cash return. If they're making $500 a door, and they're leaving $10,000 in the deal, they're going to have their money back in year 1.5. So, does it make sense to leave the 10 grand on the table to get a much better rate or competitive? Be at 70% in lieu of 75? Yeah. If you have the extra liquidity on the sidelines to not concern yourself to get that 10 grand back, I would not go grab that money out because that rate could be almost a quarter to half a point higher.
Yeah. And I know you always talk about that a lot. I think I heard it from you, probably just this past week we were together almost every day, and it seems like I heard that probably about 5 or 10 times, 70%, $500 per door.
I'm a creature of habit. It works. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. You got to be passionate about this.
The numbers don't lie either. So what risks are most common in fix and flip deals?
E.g. GC, completing the project on a timely manner. You draw up to your draw.
The hardest thing to find for
Yeah,
GC.
a good GC, somebody that understands the draw schedule and how the draw works. You're first in, last out as the investor. So you're putting the money in first to get complete the work done, then to be reimbursed. Don't give a very large amount of money to your contractor to hope that they're going to burn through the deal and get it all set up for you. It doesn't work that way. It never will. Don't entice them with more money to think that they're going to be incentivized to complete the project quicker. You portion meal out their money to make sure that they're completing the work upon the money that you're releasing.
So what risks are most common in BRRRR deals then?
Timing as well with the GC, completed work. What I would suggest to anybody that, whether they're newer, more experienced individuals probably have a better eyeball for this, but for the newer investor, I'd say when you get that GC scope of work and they have to tie it into the lender, get a home inspection done by a home inspector. Not to question if the GC knows what they're doing, but maybe they missed something. And if it's not in your scope of work and you go, hey GC, look what my home inspector found. Are these things included? Is this part of my contingency? And the GC will be like, oh no, that's going to be added to this. All of a sudden now you get a more realistic matchup to your construction costs. And then the best part is more savvy investors are getting a home inspector come in, say a week or two out before the GC says they're done and they're going to get their last draw. Send the licensed inspector back and let them do an inspection again. Now, did the GC do all the work in that project? No, he or she had subs. They might have done some work that might have been not seen or overseen. That home inspector might catch that stuff. Now, if you're trying to test the market to flip the property before you maybe consider holding it for a refinance, what is somebody going to do when they buy a property? What's the first thing they order when they put a property under contract? They order a home inspection. No worries, here's a copy of my home inspection. But see, so wouldn't that be smart to show your deck? Yeah. Because what happens is, hey, all this stuff was addressed and all this stuff was completed. And by the way, I'll give you a home warranty for a year. I'll pay for that up front. So now, even if they go get the home inspector, the home inspector's going to have a harder time matching up apples to apples. When I have a home inspection here that's just done, the ink's still wet, and they're going to come in, because the home inspectors are brought in to talk about all the downsides to the property, to renegotiate prices. But you're eliminating the amount of negotiation by providing your own home inspection that was done a week or two before the completed project with the contractor, and all that stuff was buttoned up, and you're offering a home warranty. So where's the negotiation?
Yeah. But is this something like a lot of investors they don't get a home inspection?
No.
Really?
I don't find that. I see with savvier, lesser experience. The more experienced buyers that are flipping, they probably do that. Yeah. Because they're trying to cover their ass on the way out. Yeah. From a flipping perspective, they don't get sued a year down the road. Say they didn't fill the seller's disclosure out correctly, you get sued. So if you did the home inspection matches up with the seller's disclosure, very hard to get into a lawsuit piece.
Right. But not even say just to take a look at some maybe for CO reasons or anything like that.
You would think they would. I think a home inspector is a savvy move, especially when you're going to... Can you imagine having a home inspection that was just done as the project's completed in the seller's disclosure when you list the property, and you're offering a home warranty to justify everything was addressed, and your seller's disclosure matches up with your home inspection and the completed work? I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tight, solid flip. Yeah. Much more solid than somebody that doesn't have that.
Because you don't know what you're getting. Obviously, you've seen a bunch of these Instagram videos of these home inspectors. So now, how does investor experience affect loan structure?
Again, it's all about 0 to 2 deals, 3 to 4 deals, 5+ deals, and how I structure my purchase price and how I structure my after repair value leverage. Okay? And you really need to understand comps as a real estate investor on the after repair value, and then if you're from a BRRRR strategist, you really need to understand your rental comps. Okay, your market rent might be affordable housing, and affordable housing might be the market rent. So you need to see if they match up, or can you do something better? What amenities do you bring to the table that's going to justify your value of your market comp on the sell side, or the reappraisal side, or the rental side?
So let's talk about strategies for both of these, right? So which one of them, in your opinion, do you think is better for long-term wealth building?
For the long-term play, the BRRRR strategy, of course. You know, if you build up a portfolio of 10 properties, if you say you're just obsessed with single family, which is fine. I'm more of a fan of 2, 3, 4, but say you're just a single family, and you're going to make $500 a door to $1,000 a door. 10 doors later, you're making $10,000 a month. And you're getting a depreciation piece, you're getting certain type of write-off components, you're a real estate professional. None of these properties are reporting to your personal credit. Everything's in the name of your LLC, you're asset protected, you got property management in place, it's a business. Flipping, you got to always conquer the next deal.
Almost like a sales.
It's a short-term type of component to success. Eventually, you got to start justifying cash flow because that money, there's only so much you get back after the government gets a good piece of it. And once you're 1031ing the project, money into the next project, so you can't really take any profitability either.
Right.
You're eventually going to run out of money.
So, how important, we've been talking about GCs before, but how important is the rental scope in underwriting?
Well, you know, we go over that in the workshop. We have one coming up in Lehigh Valley, third Saturday in April. We're going to break down the construction budget and what it looks like, what are the questions that need to be asked. And if you've done under 3 deals in the last 3 years, I'd always say use a 20% contingency in repair cost. For the more experienced investor that's done 3+ deals, I'd probably say that you should use at least no less than a 10% contingency in their construction costs. But the home inspector piece might make up a lot of that shortfall in that contingency in the beginning and in the end. Because, let's be honest, on the back end, the contractor's ready to roll to their next project. They want their last draw and they want to be out the door. To get them to come back to do button-up things is like an act of God. So why don't you catch them when you still got that last check to give them? Hey, by the way, my home inspector gave me these 7 other things that you missed. Why don't you get these things done before I pay you on the back end, or you're not going to get your last draw?
Yeah.
So you have something to negotiate with.
Yeah, you pay them full.
While we're there.
Yeah.
When we're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, they're not coming back.
Exactly.
That's it. So, what makes a BRRRR deal successful from a lending perspective?
You make money when you buy. So do they own any investment properties? You know, like how many investment properties have they bought in the last 3 years? How many rehabs have they completed in the last 3 years? How many flips have they renovated in the last 3 years and sold with ownership? Not for others. So if that number is 0, why are you getting mentored by somebody that's done 0? And you're trying to do your first deal? I'd be concerned. Surround yourself with smart, intellectual people that in their space, with transactional experience in the space, know how to get dirty. You know, talking to a good button-up maintenance person, talking to a good GC, taking them out to lunch, paying for them to come out. Don't expect somebody to come out to do something for free. That's another thing. You've got to pay for everything on the way. Instead of taking some BS workshop for $5,000, $10,000 to be in some crazy community, pay the professionals in your team of experts to show you the correct way of doing things. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, and they're out there, man. And I think about like versus love. You know, so that's a big deal as well. But too many people, I think, going in, they look at it as a hobby and not a business. You know, you have a team, you have it together, like this is your baby, right? Closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think the difference between BRRRR and fixing football isn't just a strategy, it's a capital structure. I think in today's market, structure always will be great. And investors who understand how now QM and lending to sports, their exit strategy will scale faster and manage risk better. Dale, thank you for this interview.
Hey man, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to host this time.
Well, how do we reach you if we need to have a follow-up?
So guys, you can reach out to me. You can find me on social media platforms at Dave Burgio, BURGIO. You can find me at trifectacreditsolutions.com. You can email me directly at dave@trifectacreditsolutions.com as well.
And this is James Scurry, Senior Account Executive, Park